Chapter 1. The One Night Stand That Ruined Me. I'm Oren Lysander, and let me start with one simple truth. Being broke sucks. I mean, like, really sucks. Not, I can't afford Starbucks broke, no. I'm talking about rationing instant noodles and mixing water with shampoo. Kind of broke. So naturally, when midterms fried my brain and my electric bill threatened to commit murder on my bank account, I did the most logical thing ever. I went to a bar, alone, wearing a hoodie with a hole in it and praying no one saw my taped-up shoe. I just wanted to drown in peace. But of course, life said nope, and threw a walking Greek tragedy at me. He sat down beside me like he owned the place. Black suit, cold eyes, sharp jawline that could cut my soul, and a watch that looked like it cost more than my entire tuition. "You look like you need something stronger than that," he said in a voice so deep it tickled my spine. And me, being the emotionally constipated menace that I am, replied, "Unless you're buying, I'll keep sipping my sadness like a peasant." He smiled. Like literally smiled. "Sir, why are you smiling like that? I'm unstable, you know." We talked. Or well, he talked in low, dangerous tones, and I sass-battled like I was auditioning for RuPaul's Drag Race College Edition. But then, things got hot, like, did someone turn the AC off or am I getting stripped with eyes? Hot. One drink led to whispered secrets, led to his hand ghosting over my back, led to yeah. Let's just say I woke up in a luxury hotel suite. Naked, sore, confused, and very much alone. No name, no number, not even a thank you mint. So I did what any rational, emotionally damaged student would do. I grabbed a complimentary chocolate, shoved it in my mouth, and walked out like nothing happened. One night stand. Whatever, I told myself. Forget it ever happened. Spoiler, I did not forget. My ass remembered for 3 days. 4 weeks later. You know how they say karma is a B** titch? They lied. Karma is a sadistic gremlin with a pregnancy fetish. There I was, minding my own broke business, speed walking to the campus library, when Bommy threw up. In a trash can. In front of the professor I was trying to impress for a scholarship letter. "Oh dear," Professor Kale said, patting my back. "You all right, sweetheart? Need the nurse?" No. Probably just bad noodles. Or bad life decisions. He looked at me with professorly suspicion. Spoiler. Every professor in my college loves me. Why? Because I get straight A's, never miss deadlines, and pretend to be normal. I am not normal. But they don't know that. I got through the rest of the day with 3 mints and a prayer. But when I threw up again during econ class, yeah, I caved. I bought a pregnancy test. Me. A broke, scholarship-dependent Tsundere twink holding a pregnancy test in the men's bathroom like it was a cursed artifact. 2 minutes later, I stared at the 2 pink lines. They looked back at me like, "You're in trouble, bitch." I laughed, then cried, then whispered to myself, who the hell even was that guy? Internal monologue. I didn't even know his name. All I knew was that he had cold eyes, warm hands, and lips that made me forget I had 3 essays due. And now, I had a freaking baby inside me. A whole parasitic gremlin. Growing, squatting, demanding nutrients. Do you know how expensive prenatal vitamins are? I wasn't ready to be a parent. I couldn't even keep a cactus alive. And the worst part? I still had no idea who the father was. No name. No clue. Just that stupidly attractive face burned into my brain, and my uterus screaming, "You've made your bed, now raise a baby in it." Chapter 2. Meet the family, and your baby daddy. Oren had exactly 2 goals that Saturday, i.e. 1. Pretend he wasn't broke in front of his rich best friend. 2. Not vomit in anyone's designer rug. Simple, straightforward. Doable, right? Wrong. Because the second he stepped into the marble hallway of House Draven, holding his $4 backpack in a folder held together by dreams and staples, he felt it. The vibe. Rich, cold. We eat gold for breakfast kind of vibe. "Hey, make yourself at home." Emrys grinned, tossing Oren a cold soda from the private kitchen. "Uncle might be around. Just ignore him. He hates people." That should have been the first warning. Because 3 seconds later, Oren heard footsteps, slow, calculated, expensive sounding. He turned, and his soul left his body. It was him. Tall, suited, intimidating. The one-night stand stranger with the lethal jawline, ice eyes, and ungodly expensive watch. And of course, Oren immediately tripped over an ottoman. "That's my uncle," Emrys said casually, sipping soda like Oren wasn't combusting beside him. "Cairo Walter Draven, CEO, no fun at parties." Oren blinked, coughed, internally screamed. Externally, he nodded stiffly and said, "Nice to meet you, sir," like a good boy with 0 baby in his belly. Cairo, meanwhile, stared at him. Not a normal stare. A burn-through-skin and see-your-soul kind of stare. "We need to talk," he said, voice low and commanding. "Alone." And that's when Oren did what any brave, well-adjusted Tsundere menace would do. He ran, right into the nearest bathroom, locked the door, hyperventilated into a toilet paper roll for 5 minutes straight. Meanwhile, earlier that week, Cairo had been following Oren. Not in a put a GPS tracker in his shoe way, well, not yet, but in a casually obsessed billionaire way. He had security cameras discreetly installed on Oren's street. An alert system that pinged his phone every time Oren entered a hospital. A doctor on payroll who texted, "Sir, Lysander's test came back positive. Estimated 5 weeks. Congratulations." Cairo had simply typed back, "No visitors allowed in his apartment from now on. Also double his scholarship funding and fire his landlord." Why? Because he was Cairo Valtor Draven. And because his Oren was pregnant. And no one, not even Oren, was going to stop him from being a part of that. Back to present, Draven Mansion. Dining hall. Dinner started out weird. Cairo didn't sit at the head of the table. He sat beside Oren, uninvited. Oren nearly choked on his water. Draven grandmother glared at Cairo like she'd just stepped in emotional filth. The family lawyer whispered something about reputation. Emrys? Oblivious, too busy texting. And Oren? Trying desperately to stab his steamed carrots without drawing attention to his unholy uterus. That's when it happened. Cairo lifted his wine glass, clinked it softly, and spoke in the most calmly psychotic voice anyone had ever heard. "I have something to announce." Pause. Dead silence. "Oren is pregnant." Oren dropped his fork. "With my child." Cue chaos. "Excuse me." Oren. "You what?" Emrys. "We are not having commoners in our bloodline." Draven grandmother. "What the hell, Cairo? You slept with a student." Random cousin. "I need to lie down." Butler. Oren stood up so fast his chair fell backward. "What is wrong with you?" he shrieked. "Why would you tell them? I haven't even processed the gremlin in my stomach." Cairo didn't flinch, didn't blink, just stared at him with unwavering affection. "They needed to know," he said like he'd announced the weather. "You're mine, and so is the child. I won't let them shame you." That's when Oren picked up his fork and threw it at a distant cousin who had just whispered, "Gold digger." The fork clanged off a vase. The vase shattered. Someone screamed. Cairo stood up and gently pulled Oren to his side, wrapping an arm around his waist. Oren slapped it away. "Don't touch me, stalker demon billionaire freak." Cairo looked down at him entirely unfazed. "You're angry. No *** tea, Sherlock. It's cute. I will bite you." Cairo escorted Oren out of the dining hall like a damn prince. Meanwhile, the family behind them muttered about bloodlines and scandals and PR. As the door shut behind them, Cairo turned to Oren. "You should be resting. You haven't eaten properly today. I had your favorite pastries delivered to your apartment." Oren scowled. "Are you bribing me with food? Is it working?" "No." It totally was. "Get therapy." "You're mine, Oren," Cairo said softly. "You always have been." Oren stared up at him, flushed, heart pounding. and in true Tsundere menace fashion, muttered, "I hope your fancy bathtub clogs." Chapter 3. You're marrying me whether you like it or not. Cairo didn't corner Oren, no. He ambushed him, like a rich, emotionally repressed panther in a $20,000 suit. It was minutes after the chaotic family dinner. Oren had escaped to the garden to scream into the night air like a normal pregnant menace. That's when the shadows shifted, and suddenly, there he was. Cairo Draven. Unholy love child of Satan and Armani. Stop stalking me, Oren snapped, stomping backward in the grass. What do you want now? An apology for the fork? Cairo, with all the emotion of a sentient iceberg, replied, You're going to marry me. Oren blinked, laughed, pointed at him. Ha, no. And then he walked away. Or tried to. Because less than 24 hours later, Oren's apartment gone. Oren returned to his tiny, leaky flat only to find it empty. As in, completely cleared out. Bed? Gone. Laptop? Gone. Sad old toaster that always burned one side of the bread? Gone. In its place, a single note. You're welcome. Love, Cairo. Cairo's ultra-luxury penthouse. Oren stormed into the penthouse like a tornado wrapped in sarcasm and cheap shoes. What in the rich people kidnapping is this? Cairo was calmly setting out prenatal vitamins on a golden tray. I had your belongings moved here. Your old apartment wasn't suitable for someone pregnant. I've also hired a private doctor. You moved my toaster without consent. I replaced it with 5. I want my toaster. I'll get it back. Do you want 7? Oren's left eye twitched. When he grabbed his phone to call Emrys and rant, he found no signal. No Wi-Fi, no network, not even emergency calls. You blocked my phone? Cairo sipped his espresso. I didn't block it. I disconnected it. You're not allowed to be stressed. I'm about to stress your neck. That night, Oren lay in a ridiculously soft bed, arms crossed, fuming. Cairo walked in silently with a glass of warm milk. I'm not a child. I don't want milk. Cairo placed it on the table. It's oat milk. You're lactose intolerant. How do you know that? Cairo didn't answer. He just sat on the armchair across the room, watching, like a creepy owl in a $7,000 suit. Why are you watching me sleep? Because I love you. Oren sat up so fast he almost dislocated something. What did you just say? I love you. The room froze. Oren blinked at him. You don't even know how to smile properly and you think you're in love with me? I smiled 3 times last week. Yeah, at the news of the stock market crash. The next morning, the Draven family arrived for a confrontation. Oren was eating pancakes and pretending not to exist. This union is outrageous, hissed one of the uncles. You'll be disowned. I don't care, Brother Cairo said, cutting orange strawberries for him like some lovesick butler. He's a commoner. He's carrying my heir. Oren threw a grape at someone's forehead. I'm not a freaking royal egg, thank you. One of the aunts tried to slide a check across the table. Leave him and take this. Oren deadpan blinked. That wouldn't even cover my tuition. Try harder. The kitchen violence. Later that night, Oren stood in the kitchen, waving a spoon at Cairo like it was a weapon. You're insane. You moved me, without asking. You treat me like a glass doll. You're trying to marry me when we haven't even dated. Cairo, voice calm as ever. We slept together. You're pregnant. You live in my house. It's practically marriage. You skipped like 12 steps. I love you. You love controlling me. That too, but mostly you. Oren tried to stab him with the spoon. Cairo caught his wrist gently and kissed his forehead. I love you, he whispered. Oren glared, cheeks pink. I hate you. Then hate me as my husband. Oren didn't speak, just dropped the spoon in the sink with a loud clatter and muttered under his breath, Sick, fool. Cairo walked away, victorious, while Oren stood there, Mad, confused, slightly flustered, and starting to think maybe, just maybe, being adored by a rich, emotionally constipated, overprotective CEO wasn't entirely the worst thing, especially when the man looked at him like he was both the battlefield and the victory. Chapter 4. Family War Wedding Bells. The Draven family was not happy. Oren, 2 months pregnant and already sick of everyone's crap, sat on the velvet sofa of the Draven estate living room while some crusty great aunt waved a blank check in his face like she was trying to summon a demon. Just write your price, dear. Be a good boy and vanish. I am a good boy, Oren said sweetly, but I'm not for sale, Grandma. He folded the check into a paper airplane and launched it into someone's soup. Another uncle pointed a finger and bellowed, "You're manipulating him. This marriage is fraud." Oren reached for a champagne glass, took a sip, and spit directly into it. "Fraud?" he snorted. "Sweetie, I stabbed your brother with a fork 2 months ago. You think I need to manipulate anyone?" Across the room, Cairo was sitting quietly, legs crossed, sipping tea. Not saying a word, just vibrating with unspoken wrath. When the lawyer started whispering about annulments, Cairo simply stood and said, "If any of you make him cry, I will bankrupt all of you by dinner." They didn't speak again. Fast forward 2 months. Oren was 4 months pregnant now. His belly had started to curve gently, visible beneath his oversized hoodie. Yes, he was still wearing hoodies, wedding day or not. The wedding of the year, aka Mafia. CEO X Pregnant Menace. The venue was some ancient royal courtyard Cairo had literally bought and cleared just for this event. Oren showed up in a black hoodie, ripped jeans, and sneakers. The wedding planner fainted. "You can't wear that. I'm literally pregnant. Try stopping me." Cairo, dressed in a 3-piece custom white suit, looked at Oren like he was the reincarnation of every Greek god. "You look beautiful," he whispered, brushing Oren's cheek. Oren rolled his eyes. "You look like a boring villain in a Netflix thriller." "And yet, I got the hot college student," Cairo replied with a smirk. Oren turned crimson. The audience? Dead silent. Except Emrys, best friend, future godparent, and walking chaos gremlin, who shouted, "Let's go!" and started filming on his phone. Not a single person clapped when the couple kissed. They didn't need to. Because when Oren's hand tightened around Cairo's at the altar, it was a silent declaration of war and love all at once. Post-marriage college disaster. Oren thought marriage might calm things down. It didn't. The very next day, he walked into his elite university, oversized hoodie hiding his bump, headphones on, only to be hit with stares. And whispers. "Is that the guy who married Cairo Draven? The pregnant one? Why him? He's like nobody. He's probably some gold-digging brat. Ew. I heard he seduced him at a bar. What a scandal." Oren pulled out his earphones, slowly, calmly. And then, "Listen here, you TikTok extras with a superiority complex," he snapped. "I may be pregnant, but I still bench press your GPAs for fun. You want drama? I'll give you drama. I've got hormones and 0 fucks to give." Then someone tried to bump into him on purpose. Bad move. Oren kicked them. Right in the shin. "This fetus and I have had enough." When the professor arrived and saw the chaos, he clapped. "Oren, please give them extra homework as punishment." Enter the mafia husband mode. When Cairo found out, oh no. He didn't scream. He didn't argue. He just walked out of his skyscraper office, made one phone call, and by the next morning, he owned the university. Yes, he bought the entire elite institution. Renamed the main building to Lysander Hall. Suspended every student who bullied Oren. Replaced the cafeteria food with prenatal-friendly gourmet meals. And installed a special lounge with heated seats, snacks, and bodyguards where Oren could nap between lectures. The confrontation set. Oren stormed into Cairo's office, fuming. "You bought my college? It was inefficiently run. You named a building after me? It's not the only thing I plan to put your name on. Oren threw a pencil at his head. Cairo caught it midair and smiled. You're adorable when you're angry. I'm going to commit a crime. Please don't, you're pregnant. Later that night, Cairo carried a sleepy Oren to bed. Oren mumbled, I still hate you. Cairo kissed his forehead. Then hate me forever, love. I'll still worship you. Oren curled closer to him, belly warm, heart strangely full. And in the quiet dark he whispered, You're such a freak. And held his hand anyway. Chapter 5. Mine. Forever. 9 months pregnant. Still top of his class. Still the queen of sarcasm. And still threatening to stab anyone who touched his stomach without permission. Oren Lysander. Draven was an unstoppable force of rage, hormones, and GPA supremacy. Marriage didn't slow him down. Pregnancy didn't stop him. If anything, it made him louder. Still a college menace. Oren waddled through his elite university like a hormonal queen. Textbooks in one hand, pickles in the other. You can't bring food into the lecture hall, a random professor once said. Want to fight? Oren replied. Never mind, carry on. Despite the belly, the mood swings, and his tendency to fall asleep in the library armchair, he still aced every exam. All his professors loved him. The head of the economics department called him the pregnant genius. One TA even said, if the baby is half as smart, we'll offer them a scholarship from the womb. The soft night fight trademark. One night, Oren snapped. Cairo had just finished rubbing his swollen ankles and was now gently braiding his hair, something he secretly loved and loudly denied. You don't love me, Oren muttered suddenly, arms folded over his belly. You just feel guilty because you knocked me up in a bar. Cairo didn't flinch. He never did. He simply reached for Oren's hand, placed it against his chest over his slow, steady heartbeat. Then tell me why it only beats for you. Oren's throat closed. He cried, then threw a pillow at him. I hate you so much. And yet here you are, carrying my child, living in my mansion, married to me. I'm here for the food. Liar. That night, Oren curled up against his chest. And for the first time didn't fight the hand that pulled him close. Somewhere along the line, somewhere between the foot rubs, the luxury prenatal care, and the 3 a.m. milkshake runs, Oren had fallen in love with his scary, cold, obsessive husband. He just refused to say it first. Cairo already knew. He always knew. The baby is coming, chaos trademark. At exactly 2:17 a.m., Oren woke up and screamed, Cairo! I think my water broke or I peed myself, I don't know, but get the car. Panic. Panic. So much rich people panic. Cairo, usually cool as a glacier, slipped on the marble stairs while trying to carry Oren to the car. You're slipping. You're slippery. Why is your suit steamed? This isn't a business deal, Cairo. They got to the hospital in record time. Cairo may or may not have paid to shut down 3 streets. Hours later, with Emrys screaming, Push, you glorious brat! In the background, their child entered the world, healthy, loud, beautiful. They named him Leo Valtor Lysander Draven. Leo, because he roared the moment he was born. Valtor for legacy, Lysander for pride, Draven for chaos. The family reaction. Emrys cried, and danced, and took 400 pictures. That's my godson, my cousin nephew, my boy, my boy. The Draven family arrived like a parade of drama. One aunt fainted. One cousin muttered, He's cute, for a half-commoner. Cairo glared at her until she apologized to Leo in baby language. Sorry, baby Leo. You are not a peasant. You are royalty. Please don't destroy my inheritance. Cairo never left Oren's side, not for a second. And when Oren was asleep, Cairo whispered to the newborn, You've got your papa's stubbornness. Pray for me. Business baby husbands. 3 months later, Oren returned to college with a baby carrier strapped to his chest. He also started preparing for his master's in business administration because apparently The man who once said, "I hate all CEOs," now wanted to become one and help run their empire. "So you're not going to stab me with a spoon anymore?" Cairo teased. "Oh, I will. But now I'll also help increase your ROI and restructure your subsidiaries." "That's hot." "Shut up." Oren sat in board meetings, baby on his hip, correcting quarterly reports like a menace. The business world had no idea what hit them. Family chaos, never ending. Even after the birth, the Draven family never stopped being dramatic. One time, Leo bit someone's finger at brunch. Emrys hosted a birthday party where the theme was Baby Royalty Mafia Daddies. Oren threatened to fight a daycare mom who called Leo spoiled. And Cairo? He just sat there, baby in one arm, laptop in the other, whispering to Oren every night, "Mine, forever." And Oren, now with a ring on his finger, a baby drooling on his hoodie, and a husband who treated him like he was both a kingdom and a war, smiled. Just a little. "Yeah," he muttered. "Yours, freak."